Hello and welcome to another episode of DyerTimes. I'm your host, David Dyer, and on this episode, we're transitioning from winter to summer, and some people call that spring. And what happens in the spring, you shed your big heavy coats, and then all of a sudden, you reveal your once concealed, now open carry holster. Now this used to be my duty rig, and it is a shining example of a huge holster. So what do we do when summer rolls around and we have to now conceal this massive holster? Well, we turn to Alien Gear holsters, which provide a very unique solution for the concealed carry person, both in the professional setting and in just a general everyday use. So let's go over the table and check out the Alien Gear Tuck 2.0 concealed carry holster. So this has been in the making for some time. We didn't just get the Alien Gear holsters in. We didn't just start wearing them. This has been about a 2 or 3 month process where we got them in and really started to test them and use the product. Here with me is Tye Ward. You've never seen him before on DyerTimes, but he has been involved in almost every video. He is the guy that does all the camera work and sound and makes the magic happen. And about 3 months ago, he came to me and said, hey, I got a large, full-framed 1911 pistol and would like to carry it concealed. How do I do that?
Right, so when I came to you, I had been carrying the pistol kind of on just in my waistband, which is a no-go, and for many reasons. I'm not saying that didn't fall down my pant leg a couple times. Don't carry it like that. And then I found online just a cheap foam one-clip holster.
Something like this.
Yeah, correct. And I really wasn't comfortable with it. It was moving around, and I was actually afraid I was gonna drop it or lose it.
Oh, yeah.
And so when I came to you, I was surprised when you said, I'm stumped. Like I don't know what the right holster is. But then I wasn't surprised when you came back about a week later and said, look, I found these Alien Gear holsters online. They look like they're the real deal. They look like they're well manufactured. They're made in America. And why don't we see if we can get a couple? And Alien Gear was gracious enough to get involved with DyerTimes and send us a couple.
Sponsored this video, absolutely.
Yeah, so when I got the pistol holster, and I was really just amazed at how big it was and how how neat it looked. And so I started wearing it almost immediately, and I was immediately amazed at how versatile it was and how exponentially it exceeded my expectations. It's a great large pistol holster that I wear it at the 4 o'clock position, which Alien Gear recommends.
Just basically over your back right pocket.
And it's almost weightless. When you have your belt on, which I would never recommend anybody wearing this without a belt.
I don't even think, the product's not designed to wear without a belt.
Right, it's almost weightless, you don't know it's there, and when the pistol isn't in the holster, you really have no idea that you're wearing it until you take your pants off at night and realize, oh yeah, right, I've got a holster on. And I work in an office where I have to have it concealed. If I'm gonna have a pistol, I have to have it concealed. And I don't wanna worry about it showing up, and I don't wanna worry about it being uncomfortable. And I found my sweet spot that I wear it at, and I could sit at my desk without removing the pistol from the holster at all. And it's just great. I sit at my computer, I work all day, and then I go home. And it's just really a great product. I love it.
So, well, that being said, you did stump me a little bit. And that's because everybody's different in how you are going to move through your day, how you're going to operate, what you want to do. There's a ton of different holsters. There's hundreds of different styles. Whether you do a shoulder holster, which definitely not a good concealment option in the summertime because you're wearing light fabrics, and this is going to stick out really poorly. Other options with these single clip. This one's a little more rigid than this one, but I don't look at these as even a safe option or a safer option than the Alien Gear holster, because this is what you would call a level 2 holster, which means that the trigger guard is covered and you can't get a finger or anything else into that trigger guard as you're wearing the holster. And for me, that is kind of a baseline requirement for a holster. And just because the trigger is covered in here doesn't mean that you can't, something couldn't mash against this and potentially, I mean, yes, everybody carries differently. Some people are for carrying with a round in it and safe on. It's up to you and how you want to do it. But either way, this allows you to carry safely if you're carrying with a round in it or not. Some really interesting features about the Alien Gear holster that I think were extremely well thought through. That being, if you flip the holster over, you have this neoprene kind of buffer And this does two things. It really increases the comfort of the carry because it's kind of a nice thick moldable pad that more or less forms to your body. And then if you sweat any, which in the summertime you know you're going to, this also keeps the sweat from penetrating into where your pistol is and corroding it, and you know, keeps from having to really just concentrate on keeping it oiled continuously. And if you flip it over, you have this leather backing which is married to the neoprene, and this just adds the durability of the holster and kind of keeps it a little more controlled on your flexibility. And of course, on top of that, this is your Kydex cover, which is the most rigid part of the holster. And these are form-fitted to your pistol, and they are interchangeable, which means, you know, you can pretty much, if you've got a Colt 1911 or a 1911 or a Colt 380 Mustang, you can switch them out and make whatever you want with them. So tell me a little bit about how you said you made some adjustments to the way you wear it. Tell me about your process through the holster. Okay, so when I first got it, it was on these middle holes here, and then I moved it up just because I wanted it to sit lower in my pants, because to keep the handle as low as it possibly can along my belt line. And other than that, I really haven't had to do any adjustments. I know that the kit you get with the Alien Gear holster, you can adjust the spacers, and there's different options. But that was really the only adjustment I made, was the height of these belt loops, which was a great. I think it would have deterred me from actually wearing the holster if I wasn't able to move these belt loops. Okay, well let's actually take a look at what you get when you get your Alien Gear holster. So this is one that has not been opened yet. This comes in this black bag. When you open it up, you have your Alien Gear holster. Just like you said, it's set for the middle, which is just, you know, standard setup. You can easily change those. And this pistol is actually for a Taurus Judge, which you'll actually get to see that a little bit later when we do some live fire demos. In addition, in your bag, you're going to get of course, your instructions and a little bit of information on your holster, how to wear it, some of the guarantees, which we'll talk about some later as well. You get a cool little sticker that you can, you know, put anywhere, and that way everybody knows you're concealed carrying Alien Gear holsters. Yeah. And then of course a little membership card to the NRA if you're a supporter and you want to do that. There's, you know, some free gifts attached to that. And then getting to the kit that you were talking about, I absolutely love when people have the forethought to not only give you the tools you need, but also give you any extra parts you think you might need when it comes to a holster. It comes in this little bag here. It is on a highly visible card that is, you know, everything's made in America, and this is your spare parts kit. It comes with your Allen wrench, which is actually secured very well to the card, that you can make all your adjustments. And then you have all these different level spacers in here. And if you look at your holster, you'll notice that they are along the bottom. So not only can you adjust the cant of your holster, so that basically saying if you want to have the pistol more forward, more backward, higher in your pants, lower in your pants, you can make all of these adjustments very easily just by taking these screws out and replacing them. You can also adjust the spacer width, so if you want it more or less against your belt. And of course, you can adjust the tension that it holds your pistol in the holster by increasing the size of these spacers. So if you want to make it a little easier draw or a little tougher draw, or, you know, however, you know, whatever you're most comfortable with, that's all here. And of course, it also comes with a cool little key ring. Best thing in the whole kit. Best thing in the whole kit. Key rings and stickers. I'm sold. So I really enjoy that they had the forethought to you know, put this little kit together. It's very clearly labeled with what everything is, the sizes, and you know, how it's done. It comes with an extra washer for, you know, it's just a really well thought through product, and having, you know, some extra options. As far as planning and engineering, this is probably one of the best engineered products I've ever used. Now, saying that, I will caveat with a couple negatives. And I say negatives only because nothing is perfect. And I think that this concealed carry pistol holster is about as close to perfection as you can get with this type of carry. The first thing is when trying to reholster the pistol. It's a little bit tough because it's designed to conform to your body, and once you take that pistol out, it kind of flattens, and you have to kind of work to get it back in. That's point number one, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And point number two is wearing it in a vehicle.
Now I found it's nearly impossible to stick comfortably in your vehicle with your seatbelt on carrying this, which in my opinion, I don't like to carry my pistol on behind me so I can't get to it if I'm in the vehicle anyway. So that kind of takes care of that for me. And the third is something that just about every concealed in the waist holster causes, is the pant size. Now I usually wear the same pant size all the time, and I gain and lose weight a little bit throughout the year, but somebody who knows that their pant size is, you know, what it is, you might want to try to go with a larger pant size. Maybe if you wear 36, go with the 38, because it does make it a little bit tighter than you would like.
Well, and part of that would definitely depend on the size of the pistol too. You can kind of see the profiles here being a little thicker and a little thinner. And I'll have to say, I also noticed when I was carrying, I had to adjust my belt. I had to let it out a notch or two. Most of the pants I wear have the intelligent waist, so they form fit to you regardless, which is kind of cool. And that you'll find that in most tactical pants. But on the whole, getting it back in your holster, this is a concealed carry holster. Generally, if you're unholstering this, it's for a good reason. You know, somebody is doing something bad, and you're going to, you know, take the appropriate action necessary to stop people from getting hurt. So you're not going to be as concerned with getting it back in the holster. But like you say, if you're in the car and you remove it from the holster and store it properly as far as transporting it in a vehicle and then putting it back in, I could see that being a little challenging. You know, it really comes down to, you know, you get a fluid draw out of it every time, but you just might have to focus a little bit more as far as getting it back in your pants properly.
And this is, again, like you said, this is a tool to use with your concealed carry permit, and you should already know the laws and regulations and rules, and a good instructor will kind of point out some of the caveats with concealed carry.
And have a selection. And one of the things that that is the best, honestly, about the Alien Gear holster is we have several different selections. I've tried lots of different holsters, and many of the holsters I've tried are $100 or, you know, not cheap, $70, $80. You know, not the price that you get, try it and realize you don't like it. One of the things with the Alien Gear holsters is this is the Cloak Tuck 2.0, and this is about around $34. Now there are different options that you can get. These are the plastic clips, but you can get metal clips for it. This is the black leather with neoprene. You can get leather. If you want all this to be in natural leather, you can get it in leather. So you got tons of different options you can get, but generally it comes in at around $34 a holster. And they have a combo special where you can get 2 holsters for $49. Now that price fluctuates a little bit. If you want metal clips, a couple dollars here. If you want a second shield, a couple dollars there. So generally with shipping, you know, you're looking at about 60 bucks for 2 holsters, 30 bucks a piece. Not bad. I mean, really, you know, if you try one and don't like it, they actually have a 30-day guarantee. You can just send it back to them. They'll refund your money. And all of these things lend to not only a great company, but, you know, trusting in the product so much that they're guaranteeing you're going to like it. One of the things I will point out though is, you notice we have the automatic pistols here, and we talked about this is for a Taurus Judge. The Taurus Judge is a revolver, and one of the things that you'll notice is their revolver holsters and their automatic holsters are different. So if you have revolvers, you have to get a specific holster for that. If you have automatics, you have a specific holster for that. But if you have your automatic holster, all of these plates are interchangeable. So if you sell this pistol and get a new pistol, you can contact them, and for the cost of shipping, they will send you a brand new plate for your brand new pistol, which is really cool. So the holster itself will grow with you as you grow and as you change firearms. And that basically tells me that they trust that this is going to last your lifetime. And from just the few months use we've had, you know, you've worn this one every day, and it looks like it's brand new out of the, you know, just out of the box. You know, some of the back brackets are getting a little shiny, and it's just where you wear it.
And you can see where it's starting to conform.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to fit your body, which is pretty cool. So speaking of fitting your body, let's actually show what they look like. Let's put them on, teach you how to put them on, and go from there.
Let's do it.
Slip the holster in from front to back. Affix the back clip first, and then the front. Secure your pants and then slide the pistol into place. Make any necessary adjustments, and then you're free to put on an overshirt and actually tuck it in around the pistol. And there you have it, completely concealed. We've showed you some of the features of the holster. We've showed you how to wear the holster. Now I want to show you how to employ the holster. Here with me is James Richey. He is an NRA certified law enforcement and civilian pistol and shotgun instructor. So we're going to get over, get some of his wisdom, show you how to draw smooth and aim straight. We're going to show you two methods for drawing your firearm from the Cloak Tuck 2.0. The first of which is with an untucked t-shirt.
Your concealed draw is the exact same as your open carry draw. The only difference being there's an initial step of clearing the obstacle between you and your firearm.
Okay, so the shirt basically acting as a barrier.
Exactly, and in order to draw your firearm effectively, you need to clear that barrier. Now there are two methods. Two of the most common methods are to use either one hand to clear the barrier or use both hands going behind and clearing the barrier.
Okay.
And I'll show you both.
Excellent. So of the two methods, the first method is the untucked t-shirt. Can you walk me through the steps of drawing your firearm?
Absolutely. With untucked shirt, it's probably going to be your easiest access to your firearm.
Okay.
Using your dominant hand, whichever.
Now, of course, if you're left-handed, it'll be your left hand. If you're right-handed.
Exactly. I'm right-handed, so with my right hand, I will hook my untucked t-shirt with my thumb, sweep up, following the outline of the holster, and draw in. From that point, I get a good grip on the firearm and like my normal draw.
Well, let's see that in the crawl, walk, run. So we're gonna go through it so fast and then a live demo for you guys. So the second method that we're going to show you on how to draw your firearm from the Cloak Tuck 2.0 is with a tucked in shirt actually over the holster. So walk me through what that's going to look like.
With your non-firing hand, what you want to do is reach behind your back, grab your top shirt as close to the belt line as possible. That way, when you have your good aggressive action pulling up, you can clear your firearm more effectively.
Because you've got your shirt tucked into your belt.
Exactly.
So you need as close to the belt as possible to get as much of the shirt out of the way.
Exactly. Then at the same time that is happening, just like any normal draw, concealed or open, your firing hand is coming back, and by the time you reach the firearm, your firearm should be cleared and you should be able to draw.
And that would be, more or less the normal draw from there.
Exactly.
So it's really this dynamic movement that's happening both at the same time. And you notice he's referred to as firing hand and non-firing hand, because if you're left-handed, you're going to draw with your left hand. If you're right-handed, you're going to draw with your right, which means the opposite or offhand, non-firing hand could change depending on if you're left or right-handed.
Exactly.
So, of course, that's where the training comes into play here, is understanding how you wear it, so how you need to draw it. So let's take a look at that slow, a little faster, and in a live demo of what that's going to look like.
Okay.
So those are two very effective methods for drawing your firearm from your Cloak Tuck 2.0. So as a professional shooter, what are your impressions of this holster?
Well, it does its job. As we've seen, it conceals very well.
Even such a large pistol.
Especially with the Taurus Judge. Some problems I noticed, Judge specific, was with the rubber grips.
Okay.
And with other firearms with similar grips, you want to take into account certain things that you'll have to do that you would not have to do with some smooth handled firearms.
Or yeah, an open carry, something like that.
Exactly.
So you really want to make sure that your grips are as frictionless as possible. So wood, plastic, something that's not going to catch on the fabric as you attempt to draw it. That's a good point.
Other than that, I thought it was very smooth, especially with the untucked t-shirts, just like any other concealed carry though.
thumb and go.
But as far, it is an interesting feature to be able to tuck in your shirts over the holster.
It really helps for the, I mean, it takes that concealment to the next level.
Exactly.
Because we did some close-ups of that earlier, and you really, I mean, can't tell. And if you're wearing it properly, you're never gonna see it. Now, one of the other things you had mentioned is one of the basic techniques of a shooter is to kind of, you know, lean forward and engage the target.
Right.
And you said you had some issues also with that.
I did notice that as I would lean down and lean forward, my shirt would tighten, making it harder for me to lift and draw.
Okay, so and basically what he did to compensate for that is prior to, you know, kind of that draw position, he pulled and drew and then came down. Mm-hmm. So it was just a little bit of I guess, tweak on the training. So what advice would you give to somebody who is looking to train with this holster and be effective with a concealed carry holster?
Well, with this holster, and just like any other holster, you want to train how you're going to do it.
Okay.
You want to make sure you get on the range and practice.
Well, now, and we also, you know, made sure that the firearm was unloaded. You can purchase training pistols, and a lot of times you can find training pistols of a pistol that you have. So if you're really not comfortable practicing with a live firearm, you can switch it out for that. In this case, we just ensured that it was unloaded, and you know, if you have an automatic, make sure it's on safe as well. And that kind of layers that protection. So, Mr. Richey, awesome day out on the range. Really appreciate your instruction, and really hope you all benefited from it. So we've had a great day out here. We've showed you not only the great features of the Alien Gear holster, but how to wear it and how to use it. Now, there's been a lot of people that have had a lot of negative comments toward this in regard to quality, in regard to several of the different issues and features. Now, Alien Gear is constantly evolving their product, making it better, not only in quality, but in performance. Now, to those folks, I would also say, why are you complaining? This is a very affordable holster, and the company not only guarantees the holster for 30 days as far as you can try it. If you don't like it, send it back. They also have an unlimited shell trade. So as long as you own the Alien Gear holster for basically the cost of shipping, you can get as many different shells, which means as many different pistol switch outs as you want, as long as you have the rifle or the pistol, and the free forever warranty. And now that's the most impressive. So for me, it's hard to say anything negative in regard to the quality of this holster, because they believe in it so much that if the clip breaks, or this breaks, or that breaks, they will either replace it or send you a new one for free. How do you get better than that, right? So overall, what are your impressions with the Alien Gear holster?
I think it's a great general purpose holster, and I really don't think you could get much more versatile than what Alien Gear's put together here. Carrying a full 1911 pistol, that's pretty much
I'm wearing my Colt now. Yeah,
it's pretty much the gamut of hardcore testing for this holster, and I think it's passed the test, me wearing it for a couple months. I love it. For everybody who wants to complain, you're not going to find perfection in a holster. And as far as a great product with a great warranty made in America, this is what you got.
I would have to agree. If you'd like to check out some of their holsters, you can click in the links below and you can see the various options they have, not only in the array of firearms that they offer holsters for, but in the options in the holster themselves. If you'd like to see a little bit more what DyerTimes has to offer, you can click right here for the Tensile Stingray tree tent, which is us getting up in the trees and away from all the various critters you might find in the forest, and some you may not. Or you can click right here for the Herb Durr Damascus Knife Maker review, which is he's an amazing guy that is keeping a very age-old tradition alive in making Damascus knives and Damascus steel.
And if you like the cut of my jib, you can check out my new channel coming up called The Ward Way. It's where I take all of my skills in doing everything halfway and put them into action and let you see
gonna be great.
Just the potential of my mind. And also, if you'd like to check Dave and I out in another format, we do a podcast, which is twice monthly, and basically we talk about things just like we did today, and of all the DyerTime videos and a lot of things that I'm going to do in the Ward Way. Everything outdoors, it's the Dyer Outdoor Podcast. Check it out.
So definitely a caveat to everything we do here, really kind of an in-depth look, a little more loose format, just us talking. So thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe.